Welcome to Dear Rachel, a place where the stories from the shrinking edges of America get heard. With this show, we'll read a letter from someone trying to make sense of their life in a world that feels like it's moving too fast, or not at all. These aren't headlines, they're heartlines. The moments between the moments, where people do everything right but still get left behind. This is Dear Rachel, where the letters are local, the voices are real, and the truths, well, they don't always go down easy. You know, I've read a lot of letters from folks staring down the slow fade of a place they love. Some run, some hunker down, and some, like our first caller, move back home and think they can help fix the cracks. But coming back's not the same as turning things around. So many places you hung out at are gone. The jobs your family worked at are mostly gone. The only thing that's the same is the slow, steady drift. It's fair to ask if it's your job to save the place, or is that even a weight you'd want to carry? Let's hear from someone living that question in real time.
I left town at 18 and swore I'd never look back. But after a decade in Charlotte, I miss the slower pace, the mountains on the horizon, and the feeling of knowing my neighbors. So I moved back, bought a fixer-upper, and started a small design business out of my living room. At first, people seemed glad to see me. They said we needed young energy, someone who believed in the place. But the more I tried to get involved, local boards, downtown projects, even just suggesting ideas, the more I felt like I was bumping up against a brick wall. The old guard smiles politely, then does exactly what they've always done. Now I'm stuck between guilt and exhaustion. I see the decline, I feel the loss, and I can't help thinking, if I don't fight for this place, who will? But the longer I stay, the more I wonder if I'm just shouting into the wind. So tell me, Rachel, am I quitting on my hometown if I decide to step back? Or am I allowed to admit it's not my responsibility to fix something so many others seem content to watch fall apart?
Thank you, moved back. Here's the truth. You can love a place without becoming its savior. The guilt you're feeling comes from the story we were fed, that the people who come back are the ones who will set things right. And while I admire your drive, you're learning what every returner learns. Energy alone can't move a stone if the folks around it like it where it sits. This isn't about quitting, it's about recalibrating. You don't have to run the place or solve every crisis to make a difference. Sometimes the best way to change a place is to live here in a way that quietly refuses decline. Keep your business alive, keep your home cared for, show up for what matters to you, and let people see what functional looks like. You can't pour your whole self into a void. That's how burnout happens, and then the place loses you entirely. If you want to keep fighting, pick your battles. If you want to keep your sanity, step back from the issues where the doors are locked from the inside. It's not abandonment to protect your own well-being. Sometimes, that's the only way you'll be here long enough to matter. Our next caller knows what it's like to watch the ground drop out from under you. For them, the fight to save something wasn't about a town's spirit. It was about their own livelihood. Let's hear from a factory worker who's been through it.
I worked 30 years at the same mill. Thought I'd retire from there. Then, one Monday, the plant manager called us in, said the work was going overseas. 2 weeks later, it was done. We were just gone. At first, I thought I had to save the place, start petitions, show the numbers, prove we matter. But the people making the decisions weren't listening. They never were. You're not quitting if you decide it's not yours to fix. You can still care about your town without killing yourself trying to drag it back to life. Sometimes you've got to keep yourself standing, even if the ground under you keeps shifting.
Laid off is right. Some fights are lost before you ever step into them, and the people holding the levers aren't always the ones who'll feel the loss. You can still be present, still invest in what matters to you, without turning yourself into the unpaid rescue squad. That's not selfish. It's sustainable. If you burn out, you're gone. If you pace yourself, you can stick around for the moments when change is actually possible. The trick is knowing which is which, and refusing to let other people's inaction become your full-time job. And then there are folks who see the same streets, the same storefronts, and don't think anything's wrong at all. For them, the change isn't decline, it's just life moving along. Our last caller sees our town through that lens.
I don't see it like y'all do. Sure, there's some empty buildings, but that's everywhere. I was talking with the guys at the club the other day. These young people are spoiled. They just need to get to work like we did. They're always focusing on the negative. I've lived here all my life, and to me it's a fantastic place to live. What's to change? The place is beautiful. We have people moving in, renovated downtown, houses going up everywhere, new restaurants, and the golf is great. Enjoy what's here and quit worrying so much about what's not.
The normie's view is comfortable, sometimes too comfortable. It's easy to point to what's still working and ignore what's rotting underneath. But I'll give them this. You're not the town's only chance. If you can't get the folks in charge to see the urgency, maybe your job is to keep living in a way that shows what's possible, even in small ways. Or maybe your job is simply to live well, period. Don't confuse awareness with obligation. You can be awake of the truth and still choose not to carry the truth's burden on your back every day. That's not giving up. It's surviving long enough to decide how you really want to show up. In closing, some places can be saved, some have to be remade, and some will keep on drifting no matter how hard you pull. The hard part is knowing which one you're in, and whether your presence here is healing you or burning you out. Love your town, yes. Invest in it if you can, but don't set yourself on fire to keep it warm. This is Dear Rachel. Keep writing, keep calling, and remember you're part of the story, whether you're shouting from the front steps or just keeping the lights on at